In this video, we'll be handling the sign-in form processing. In the last video, we were able to undo resending verification email to our users who could not verify their account for one reason or the other. Okay, so we were able to undo resending verification email to their registered email address. Okay, so in this video now, we'll be handling our sign-in form processing. The last video marked the last part of our local sign up for this project. That was the last part of everything that has to do with local sign up, signing up with name, email, password, and confirm password. The remaining part of anything that has to do with sign up now in this project has to do with OAuth, that is Google and GitHub. All right, so now let's undo our local sign-in process. And the first thing we'll be doing in handling the local sign-in process is to first validate our users provided inputs in the front end. All right, if they are providing an invalid input, then we are just going to be displaying a toast for them with respect to the input that is not valid, or possibly an error occur while sending their request to the server. All right, our sign-in form processing is somewhat similar to the sign-up form processing in the front end. So most of what we'll be doing in this video is just copying what we did processing the sign-up form, and then modifying it to work with sign-in form. All right, okay, so we are going to go to our sign-in form. All right, but just before we go to that place, these are server action for resending verification email. I want us to rename it so that it will have a consistent naming pattern with other server actions we have. Okay, so I'm just going to name this resend verification. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this. We are just renaming the file, not the function itself. Okay, so I'm also going to get rid of this. I'm going to change this to underscore case v. All right, so that is going to work for the rename. Okay, I need to update our import in our verification button. Okay, so we need to save that. Okay, so this was changed from the last name to the current name, so I need to save this. Okay, now we can now go to our sign-in form, which is where we'll be working in this project. As you can already see, you can see that our sign-in our form inputs are already complaining because they are missing some props. All right, but to start with, we are going to go to our sign up form to copy some of the logic there, because it's almost the same as what we'll be working with. So I'm going to copy it from this point. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the end of okay, I'm going to go to the end of this function. All right, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to let me retain this here. So I'm going to go to my sign-in form. All right, we don't need all of this for now. Where is my sign-in form? Let me just go to form, sign-in form. All right, and close my sidebar. Then I'm going to paste all of my copied logic here. Okay, so for these field errors, we can just get rid of these field errors. All right, then I'm going to import it from the sign up form. Okay, so let's go to where we have field errors. Okay, we are just going to export this from here. I'm going to save that. Then we're going to import field errors from our sign up form rather than typing it. Okay, so that's going to work. But for our sign up form, for our sign in form, I mean, we don't need name and we don't need confirm password field. So we are going to be omitting them from this type. All right, so I'm going to use the omit. All right, so we are going to be omitting the name input. Okay, and then we're also going to be omitting the confirm underscore password. Okay, so that is going to give us this. All right, by omitting name and password, we'll be left with just email and password. So in the initial state, we also need to get rid of this, and we also need to get rid of this. We only need email and password input. As you can see, we are just using only email and password field. All right, so for the sign in form, we'll be having a different schema. Okay, so we'll be creating a sign-in schema rather than using the sign-up schema. So we're going to go to Auth schemas file, then we are going to create a sign-in schema. Okay, so here we are going to have a variable const. We're going to call it sign-in schema. Schema goes like this. Let me close my sidebar. Schema is going to be z.object. Okay, so inside of the objects we are going to have the email input, which is going to go by z.string. All right, it's going to be string. Then it should be a valid email address. Okay, after that we have a password field. Okay, it's also going to be of the data type string. All right, and at least it must have a minimum of 1 character. Okay, so if that is not true, we're going to say password is required. All right, so that's going to work for our sign-in schema, and then we're going to be exporting this. Okay, so we need to import that in our sign-in form. So this is going to be sign-in schema. Okay, I'm going to import that, and we also need to import our Zod in our sign-in form. Go to import. Right, we are going to have zip from Zod. All right, so that's going to work for that. Okay, now we have our form action, our raw data. We don't need the input field. Okay, we also don't need the confirm password field. All right, okay, so this is going to be sign in schema, not sign up. All right, we also need to validate that. Okay, so that's going to work. All right, we are going to be having a different server action to undo this. So let's say we are going to be calling it local sign in server action. All right, our check at this point is going to be different. So what we are going to be checking is if there is no error in our response, because our success will always be false, because if the sign in processing is true from the server action, we will be redirected to the dashboard. Okay, so what we are going to be checking there is if there is no errors in our response. Okay, we don't need to display any toast. All right, so if there is no error, that means the sign-in procedure is successful. So we'll be returning the initial state to clean up our form. All right, so we are not expecting any success to be true. Okay, because if the sign-in process is true, is successful, then we are just going to redirect to the dashboard page. Okay, let's import our toast here. All right, what else do we need to do? Okay, I think all of this works. An error occurred, please try again later. Okay, we can also get rid of this. It's actually not that necessary. Let me bring this up here, and I'm going to bring this up here. Okay, we can also get rid of that in the sign up form. The last part, we actually don't need this as much. You can also get rid of it here. Okay, you can leave it, you can get rid of it. Doesn't make so much difference. Okay, I'm going to bring this up here, and I'm going to save that. All right, so that's going to take care of our sign in form. Then we need to pass this down to our form. Okay, let me bring this up. Let's see if this is going to contain all of that. I save that it's contained it. Okay, I don't think it's going to contain that place. Okay, so let's go to our form. We need to pass down the form action. So we need to import. We have a const. Okay, we need to import use action state from React. Then we're going to pass a form action and the initial state. Okay, we have our initial state up here, which is the data, email, and password. All right, and here we are going to be getting the state. Okay, we're going to be getting the action function, then is pending. That is going to specify if the form is processing or if the form is not processing. Let me just get this to full screen. Okay, so now we need to pass action to the form. So I'm going to say action. Okay, it's going to be action. All right, now we are going to pass our state down to the form. We're going to have the default value. default value is going to be state dot data dot email. Okay, and the error prop is it okay? It's error. The error prop is going to, we're first going to check if the error is a field error. Okay, so this is going to be state dot errors. Okay, so if that is giving us a true result, that means it's field error. Then we're going to have state, all right, dot data dot email. This is for email input, and then we're also going to have a similar writing here. So, but we're just going to change this to password. All right, this is going to be password. Okay, so if this is not true, then it's going to be undefined, same as here. Okay, so we're going to have undefined. All right, I'm going to save that. So we're having this error here. Type string undefined is not assignable to this. Okay, error prop is expecting a data of this format. Okay, so this is where the issue is coming from. This is for error, not for default value. So this is going to be state dot errors. Okay, so that is the cause of that error. Okay, so we should be good now. All right, so what are we left with there is pending. Okay, we need to pass that to our submit button. Okay, so rather than having false here, this is just going to be is pending. So what else are we having as error? All right, so we need to define our local sign-in server action. So we're going to go to our actions directory. Okay, so we're going to create a new server action file. I'm going to call it local. All right, local underscore sign in. Okay, dot ts. So here we are going to be we're going to have a directive use server to mark that as a server action file. Okay, so we are going to be exporting a function here. I'm going to have a sync. I'm going to have a function. The name is going to be local server local sign in server action. Okay, so the data type, the parameter is going to be raw data, and the data type we are going to be inferring it from our sign in schema. Okay, z.infer. So we are going to have type of, and we have sign in schema. We need to import that. Okay, so I need to close that. Now we need to specify the return the data type. So it's going to return a promise. Okay, promise, and promise is going to resolve into a data type that we're going to call sign in result. So we are going to be creating that type up here. So we have type, then we have sign in action result, which is going to be equal to, so we are going to have success to be false, success to be false. Okay, the success is never going to be true, because now if the sign-in process is successful, we are just going to redirect straight away to the dashboard page. Okay, so this success is never expected to be true from the result that will be returned from this server action. All right, so we're going to have the errors property, which is going to be of the same data type as our field errors. Okay, where it's our field error, all right, we do not have it here. You can just copy it in a sign up form. Okay, just going to copy this. All right, then we're going to go back to our local sign-in. Then I'm just going to paste that. So we need to get rid of the name input and the confirm password input. So that's going to work for our errors. And then our data, okay, is going to be of the same data type as this. We need to import z from zod. I'm going to copy that, then I'm going to paste that here. All right, so at this point we're going to import this. All right, now to clear our TypeScript errors, let's just return something. Okay, so I'm going to be returning an object. Success is going to be false. All right, we have the errors property, which is going to contain this. Okay, and this is going to be an array of string. Let's just say an error occurred. Don't know which error yet. Okay, and then we need to provide our data property, which is going to be let's just say raw data for now. Okay, that should make this to shut up. All right, and then we can go back to this place and import our server action. All right, I hope we're actually importing what's the right function. Okay, so that is gonna work for us. Now we are done with our sign-in form process. You can see how easy it was because we've done most of the heavy lifting when we were processing our sign-up form. So now we can just test out our form. Okay, so I'm going to open my app. What is the error? Okay, we are using a hook in this server component. So I'm just going to turn this to a client component. I'm supposed to have done that. All right, so I'm going to save that, and we can go back to our page and then test out our sign-in form. All right, so I'm going to maximize this. Okay, and let me zoom this in, and my email address is this, and let's say this is my password. All right, okay, an error occurred. All right, that was the response we sent back from server action. Okay, if the sign-in is successful, we are just going to redirect from that server action, but we are going to be handling all of that in our next video. Okay, so don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.